You ever look back at basketball and just feel something when you hear the 1990s? Because the truth is, the 90s weren't just an era. They were the heartbeat of basketball's golden age, a time when legends collided. Rivalries burned hotter than ever, and every single game mattered. It all started in the shadow of the 80s giants, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, two men who saved the league. They passed the torch to a new breed of warriors, and standing at the center of it all was one man, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. When Jordan stepped on the court, the world stopped. He didn't just play the game, he elevated it. Every jump, every fadeaway, every tongue-out dunk, it wasn't just athleticism, it was artistry. He made people believe in impossible things. But greatness isn't born from comfort, it's forged in battle. And Jordan's path ran straight through the bad boys of Detroit. Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman. They weren't there to play nice. They were there to break you. The Pistons' defense was brutal. Every drive meant pain. Every layup was a war zone. But Jordan didn't back down. He evolved. He became stronger, smarter, unstoppable. And when 1991 came around, Jordan and the Bulls finally broke through. The first championship, sweet victory. Then came another, and another. By the mid-1990s, the Chicago Bulls weren't just a team. They were a global phenomenon. From Chicago to Shanghai, everyone wanted to be like Mike. But the decade wasn't just Jordan's story. It was an entire era of icons. Charles Barkley, the unstoppable force. Patrick Ewing, the New York Warrior. Karl Malone and John Stockton, the pick-and-roll perfectionists. Hakeem Olajuwon, the dream, dancing in the paint with elegance no big man had ever shown before. And let's not forget, while the Bulls were conquering the world, the Houston Rockets rose up. When Jordan stepped away, Hakeem seized the throne. Back-to-back titles, proof that the league was stacked with greatness. Then came 1996, the NBA draft that changed everything. A high school kid named Kobe Bryant, a dominant big man named Allen Iverson, a 7-foot beast named Shaquille O'Neal. The next generation of stars were ready to take over. And from that moment on, the torch was passed. The late 90s became a battlefield of eras. Jordan's Bulls chasing their second three-peat. Kobe and Shaq just beginning their story. Iverson breaking ankles and changing culture. And somewhere in San Antonio, a quiet rookie named Tim Duncan was learning how to build a dynasty of his own. But here's what made the 90s special. There were no shortcuts, no super teams engineered through social media or agents. You earned your legacy by bleeding for it. Every playoff series felt like a war. Every team had pride, identity, and heart. And the fans? They lived for it. No streaming, no instant highlights. You had to tune in or miss history. The energy was raw. The arenas were alive. And every dunk, every buzzer beater, every fight, it mattered. By the time the millennium hit, the landscape had changed. Jordan had walked away. Again. The Bulls dynasty had ended. But what the 90s left behind was legacy. A blueprint for greatness. An entire generation of kids who grew up believing they could fly, because one man did. The 90s were more than a decade. They were a movement. A time when the game was pure, the rivalries were real, and the players, they weren't chasing likes. They were chasing immortality. If you were there, if you watched those games live, you didn't just witness basketball. You witnessed history being written in real time. Because the 90s weren't just the greatest era in NBA history. They were the soul of basketball itself.